What if I told you Robert Kiyosaki once slept in the back of a beat-up, brown car? Imagine being $1 million in debt while your smart father dies, leaving only unpaid bills. He never knew where his next meal would come from, and he was very broken. You are homeless, you smell of sweat, and you feel that everything you knew was a lie. He had to hide from the friends who laughed at him because he had no money. You are cold, you are hungry, and you are all alone in that dark car. Your friends look at you and they laugh because they think you are a fool. They say that Robert should get a job and he should stop dreaming so much. But you can stop. Because the pain of being poor is now too much. This is the moment when most people give up, and the dream dies for most of the world. But for one man, this was just the start of a very powerful money story. This is not an inspiring speech. This is a real story about a man who had to fight for his life. This is not a story about a man who got lucky or was born rich. This is the story of a man who had to lose everything to find the truth. He lost his money, his house, and his pride just to learn how life works. Are you still holding on to the lie of job safety while your dreams rot away? What are you doing today to make sure you don't end up like the poor millions? Are you still looking at your phone, wasting the only life you have, waiting for a miracle? Are you still waiting for someday to start your business or to take control of your future? Let me be very honest with you. Someday is a lie that people tell themselves when they are afraid to start. Someday is the dark place where all the great dreams go to die forever. If you don't change now, your future will look exactly like your past. You will only be older, you will be poorer, and you will have more regret. But why should you listen to this story? Because this story will teach you how to fight when life hits you hard. It will show you how to change social shame into a mind of great wealth. It will teach you why school was made to keep you a worker, not a winner. This story is your wake-up call. And yes, this story will also help you learn English. You are not just watching a video about money. You are living inside a story. You are feeling the cold of that brown car. You are feeling the weight of that debt. You are feeling the fire of that dream. That is how you learn English. Not by learning lists of words, but by feeling the power of every sentence. By listening to clear, simple, and strong English that speaks to your heart. So listen closely, because this video might not just teach you a language. It might change your life forever if you listen to the words with your heart. Welcome, my friends, to this story about a man who had to lose it all. So let's begin the story of a man who had to lose everything to find the truth. Part 1. The Boy with Two Fathers. Let's go back. The year is the 1950s. The place is Hawaii. Imagine the smell of the salt water and the bright green trees. It looks like a dream, but for young Robert, life was not a fun trip. He was a small boy in a classroom, looking around at the other kids. He saw the rich kids with their new shoes and their costly toys. He looked at his own shoes. They were old. He looked at his lunch. It was simple. He started to feel a pain in his chest. It was the pain of being the poor kid. He went home and looked at his father. His father was a great man. He was very smart. He went to the best colleges. He was the boss of the Hawaii school system. Everyone liked him. But at the end of every month, this smart man sat at the table with bills. His face was full of stress. He was tired. He was worried. He had a good job, but he had no money. He had a good school life, but he was a slave to his pay. This was Robert S.'s first father, the man he calls his poor dad. He was a good man, but he was stuck in a system he didn't know. He believed in the old rules: go to school, get good grades, and find a safe job. But Robert saw the truth. Working hard was not making his father rich. It was making him tired. It was making him old. It was making him sad. When Robert was only 9 years old, he asked a question that would change his life forever. His father looked at him, and he did not have an answer. He said, "I don't know, son." He looked at his father and said, "Dad, how can I get rich? I'm a teacher." If you want to be rich, go ask Mike's dad. Mike was Robert's best friend. Mike's dad did not have a college degree. He did not have a high job in the government. In fact, he had never even finished high school. But Mike's dad was different. When Robert and Mike went to see him, he did not talk about job safety. He did not talk about saving money. He talked about building big things. He talked about making money work for him. This was the rich dad. He told the two boys, "I will teach you, but not like a school teacher. I want to give you a talk. I will give you a job, and I want to pay you." Imagine that. A 9-year-old boy working for free. Robert's poor dad was angry. "That's not fair," he said. "You should be paid for your work." But the rich dad had a secret. He said, "If I pay you, you will think like a worker. Your brain will wait for a pay. But if I don't pay you, your brain will wake up. You will start to see chances that other people never see." Robert was tired. His back hurt from cleaning shelves. He was sad. He wanted to quit. He felt the pain of working for nothing. But then it happened. He and Mike saw a box of old comic books. The store owner was going to throw them away. Robert didn't see trash. He saw a business. He and Mike opened a book room in a basement. They charged other kids to come and read. They did not do the work. They hired Mike's sister to run it. They were making money while they were at school. This was the first win. Robert saw that his rich dad was right. You don't need a pay to be rich. You need a system. You need a way of thinking. You need to stop being a victim and start being a student of life. Years passed. Robert grew up. He did not just stay in Hawaii. He went to war. He became a pilot in the Marine Corps. He flew choppers in Vietnam. He saw things that no one should see. He saw death. He saw fear. He saw the world at its worst. But even in the middle of the jungle, he kept his rich dad's lessons in his heart. Every night, while other soldiers were drinking or sleeping, Robert was reading books about business. He was thinking about his future. He told himself, "I will not die a poor man. I will not spend my life working for a government that doesn't take care." When he came back from the war, he had a choice. He could get a safe job with the government or the planes. His poor dad begged him, "Robert, please, get a steady job. You can have a safe life." But Robert looked at his father's empty pockets and his tired eyes. He said no. He got a job at Xerox. Why? Not for the money. He got the job because he was afraid of people. He was shy. He could not sell anything. And he knew that if he wanted to be rich, he had to learn how to sell. He had to face his fear. For months, he was the worst salesman in the company. He was failing. He was ashamed. He wanted to run away. But he didn't. He stayed until he was the #1 salesman in the country. He beat his fear. He built his strength. He was ready to build his own world. He started a company selling nylon wallets. It was a huge win. Money started coming in. He was young. He was rich. He was famous. He thought he had made it. But then, the world hit him hard. He did not have legal papers for his idea. He did not know how to run a big business. The company crashed. He lost everything. He was $1 million in debt. He was broken. He was ashamed. He sat in his office and cried. He saw that having a product is not enough. You need to be smart. You need to know how the game works. He wiped his tears and said, I had the product, but I was not smart. I have to start again. Robert stood in the ruins of his first big dream. He was $1 million in the hole. Most people would have given up or hidden in a dark room forever. But Robert asked a dangerous question. Why doesn't T-School teach us about money? Why are we taught to be workers but never taught to be owners? No one had an answer. Not the teachers, not the bankers, not the leaders. So Robert decided to find the answer himself. He decided to turn his failure into a lesson for the whole world. And that's where our story truly starts. Part 2. Building from Ashes. Part 2. Building from Ashes. 1985 was not a year of hope.